Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to 24 Chambers of Film. Today, I'm going to be doing a quick movie review roundup of the films I've watched that I haven't been able to give a full video review of. So let's get into it. So the first film I'm going to talk about that I saw that came out this year is I Like Movies. Written and directed by Chandler Leveck, Toronto filmmaker. This is her first feature film. I Like Movies follows a socially inept 17-year-old cinephile, Lawrence Queller, gets a job at a video store where he forms a complicated friendship with his older female manager. So this film I thought was pretty damn hilarious. I really enjoyed it. You can rent it now on Apple TV or Amazon. It's a coming-of-age film, essentially. And it takes place in the early 2000s, like 2003, I'm pretty sure, because Punch Drunk Love is a big film or 2002, if I'm correct. But Punch Drunk Love is a film that is talked about in the film that's coming out. The main character, Lawrence, he's essentially an incel. He's got a lot of trauma in his past. But yeah, it's him trying to, he's a senior, he's about to graduate and he wants to be a filmmaker. He wants to go to film school, wants to go to NYU specifically. And it's just kind of him navigating that last final year of high school and kind of the ups and downs that he's having with his relationships with his friend, his mom, his coworkers, specifically his female manager at the store. This film was really fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. I mean, if you like movies, this film is pretty much going to be a really easy watch because this is a character that I'm sure many people have been or met in some way. There's parts of Lawrence that I could relate to. Obviously not everything, but he's definitely a relatable character, especially for a fellow cinephile like myself and someone who, filmmaking is my passion. Yeah, I thought it was a great first feature film for Chandler Leveck. I'm very curious what she's going to do next. Very witty, very funny. All the performances are great. Yeah, it was just a really great coming of age film that I've been waiting to watch. I heard about this at the beginning of the year and finally it came out to rent. And I really, really liked it. I thought it was really great. The next film I watch is My Old Ass.
Can I at least touch my old ass?
Oh my God, you need to be locked up.
This film is on Amazon Prime. It is directed by Megan Park. This is her second feature film. Her first film was that film with Jenna Ortega called The Fallout. It dealt with the school shooting. And this one is a coming-of-age time travel film. Definitely a fantasy film. And basically the main character, let me just read the synopsis. The main character, it's her 18th birthday. She has mushrooms. And then when she has mushrooms with her two friends, she ends up tripping so hard that she ends up encountering her 39-year-old self from the future and basically gets advice on what to do, what not to do, what's kind of happening, without completely spoiling everything. And during her trip, she ends up, the future self, which is played by Aubrey Plaza, ends up putting her phone number in her 18-year-old self's phone. The next day after the trip, she ends up calling herself, her future self, and Aubrey Plaza answers. So some, magical way it works. They're communicating. She tells her to stay away from certain people. But essentially, it's a coming-of-age story of her. She's about to graduate high school. She's about to go off to college. They kind of live in a farming town. And so they have like a big old land of farm and stuff like that. And it's just kind of her kind of appreciating life. It's a sentimental coming-of-age film done right, in my opinion. Very well, very emotional. It'll definitely catch you in the feels. Definitely caught me. But super well done. The lead actress in this, Maisie Stella is her name. She is brilliant. She is a future star. This is like her fourth or third role only. This is her first feature film. She's amazing. She is utterly amazing in it. And I expect her to be in so many more movies coming up. She is truly talented. Yeah, I see a bright future ahead of her. If she continues at this pace and continues to put in the work, she's going to do phenomenal because her performance is a standout in this film, and she is just captivating to watch, in my opinion. But yeah, My Old Ass, highly recommended. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. Like I said, everybody's good. Aubrey Plaza, the whole cast is great. And it's funny, one of the actors that's in this film, Percy Hines White, he's also in I Like Movies as a friend of the main character. Highly recommend it. My Old Ass, directed by Megan Park. Yeah, great film. I think this film will have a definitely a long longevity in the future of just of coming of age films, in my opinion. So definitely go watch it. Highly recommend it. All right, so the next film that I watched that I didn't get to watch in theaters, sadly, but I wish I did, was Strange Darling.
I know it isn't true.
So let's get it. So this movie's about nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. Written and directed by J.T. Malner. The cinematography is done by Giovanni Ribisi. If you don't know who he is, he's an amazing actor as well. And also an amazing cinematographer. This film is shot beautifully on 35mm. Looks gorgeous. It's told in 6 chapters out of sequence. And Willa Fitzgerald is the other lead. And Kyle Gallner is the other lead. And they are dynamite together. The film has a great narrative structure that couldn't necessarily not work, if not handled well. But J.T. Malner handles it very well. The film is very intriguing, very exciting, definitely a mystery, but it starts unfolding. Like I said, it'll start off with chapter 6 and then I'll go with like chapter 2, it jumps around in that way. But it's a very like tight film, very like tight, tense, simple story, but told in a more complex way. And it works totally. I highly recommend Strange Darlings. A lot of people hyped this film up for me, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work, if I was going to be really that into it, but I was actually really into it and I'm glad it delivered. So yeah, I can't wait to own it. Highly recommend it. Go watch Strange Darling. Very, very well done film. All right, so the last new film that I saw is Blitz.
Make a wish. One wish.
Written and directed by the great Steve McQueen, not the actor, the British filmmaker Steve McQueen, director of 12 Years a Slave, Shame, Hunger, Widows. I mean, he's one of my favorite contemporary filmmakers working today. This is his newest film. It had a limited run in theaters, but it's getting its wide release essentially on Apple TV+. Follows a boy's journey in World War II London. 9-year-old George is evacuated to the countryside by his mother, Rita, to escape the bombings. Definite and determined to return to his family, George embarks on an epic, perilous journey back home as Rita searches for him. So yeah, this is you follow this point of view of this young kid played by Elliot Heffernan. Great kid actor. He has a bright future. He did a great job. All the kid actors in this film were really, really damn good. And that's kind of like, I'm kind of always skeptical about kid actors, but they did a phenomenal job. All the kids in this film. Steve McQueen got great performances out of him. And then you got Saoirse Ronan playing his mom, and she is great. But the movie's really about George. You really follow his journey. There's a lot of great performances. There's a thankless role by Harris Dickinson from Triangle of Sadness and the soon to be coming out film Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman. But a lot of great acting in it. Very touching and kind of pulls on the heartstrings, this film, but very well executed. Kind of a very more traditional film for Steve McQueen. There is a little bit of jumping back in time, past, present, future, stuff like that. But it overall feels very more of a traditional approach to this film than his other previous films, but very well done. Production value is great. Performances are great. Like I said, his direction, his camera compositions, the way he captures the scenes are always great. It has a haunting score by Hans Zimmer that's very intense at times and just works very well. It just adds this great vibe to the film that I really, really dug. Yeah. If you have Apple TV, go watch it. If it's still in theaters around you, definitely go watch it. It's his first PG-13 film, which I was kind of skeptical going in because I'm just, I don't know. I always prefer films that are rated R because you can always not hold back on things. But he did it well. He handled the PG-13 rating well. It's still very, very heavy and brutal at times, without being graphic. But yeah, he handled it well, in my opinion. I think he did a great job, and I can't wait for his next film. Not my favorite of Steve McQueen's. I'd say it's probably my least favorite films of his, but he has such a high standard in my eyes. And this is still a very great, strong film in his filmography. Not a miss at all. It's still a hit, but I still prefer his previous work before Blitz. But still, great film. Some people might really, really, really love it. Might be their favorite. I've heard some people really touting it and really digging it. Will it be an Oscar contender? Who knows? It had a lot of Oscar buzz, but I don't know. It's kind of The reception's been a little bit lukewarm, kind of, but I can see it getting in there. But at the end of the day, it's a strong, solid film by Steve McQueen that is not forgettable. So definitely go check it out. So yeah, that's my quick movie review roundup. Hit the like button, subscribe, and follow us more because we got more content coming your way. And yeah, this 24 Chambers of Film. I'm Steven. Peace.